Find out if Traian Boyer was able to hypnotize Groucho. So, Traian, would you come out here and talk to Mr. Marx again?
Wake up, Groucho, wake up.
Doesn't he look like President Harding? I mean, when he was living. He's a handsome man, you know. He could run for president. George, would you explain to our listeners briefly what happened last week?
We thought it'd be sort of fun if Traian hypnotized the members of our band and then got them up here on the stage, and when they went to play, they played a lot of sour notes.
We didn't have anybody from the orchestra on the show last week, George. Traian hypnotized an NBC page. Where were you? Or else I was hypnotized and didn't know what happened. Right?
Wrong.
Wrong.
We did have an NBC page up here, but this is a very interesting story. The page...
It is? Well, get moving.
Michael Allen was standing with the orchestra while Traian was working on them, and unbeknownst to anybody, until all of a sudden our NBC page fell over in a dead sleep while he was working on the musicians.
You mean he was just standing there alongside the musicians and he got hypnotized that way?
That's true.
And you weren't even working on him?
Well, he was standing close to where I was working, and...
He was in the line of fire, in other words. Isn't that right?
He was somewhat fascinated by what was going on, and suddenly he began to experience the feeling. So he closed his eyes, and I guess someone held him, or caught him before he fell down.
I think it was Jack Meakin who caught him, our orchestra leader.
That's about all Meakin is good for, too. To catch sleeping page boys.
And, of course, at this point, Traian realized that here he had the perfect subject for our show, and that's when we got Michael Allen up here, and you saw him on the show You did see him last week.
Yes, I did see him. It was phenomenal what he did. He said he'd never danced in his life, and he did the most remarkable rock and roll dance up here I've seen in years. Well, let's get down to the crux of the whole thing, if there is such a thing. The battle of mind over matter between Traian and me. Last week, I challenged him to hypnotize me, and after the show, I realized he couldn't hypnotize me on the air. It's illegal or something, isn't it?
No, it's not illegal.
Well, you're not allowed to do it or something. The networks don't approve of it. Is that true?
That's right.
So I asked him to come out to the house and work on me there. And he did. Isn't that right?
I sure did.
Would you say you hypnotized me?
Well, I would say I had you in a light state of lethargy.
Yeah. Well, that's my normal condition.
In order for me to put you into a deeper state of hypnosis, Groucho, I would have to work a bit longer.
Well, what would you need, about 5 years? Could you give Fenneman the evil eye, Traian? You wouldn't mind, would you, George?
Yes.
I won't give him the evil eye, but I will try to...
Could you give him a baleful glare? Could you give him a half a baleful glare?
No, you call it what you like.
Okay.
If he cooperates, I would like to demonstrate to you the power of suggestion. Now, this is not hypnotism. Basically, that's what hypnotism is.
This is auto-suggestion?
No, this is, would you mind if I demonstrate it?
No, go right ahead.
No, he doesn't mind. No,
of course
not.
Do you mind, George?
I mind. He doesn't mind.
No, I mean, could you put him in such a condition that he would accept a cut in salary without resenting it?
Well, even if I could, I wouldn't do that.
Thank you.
No.
And you said you were a friend of mine.
I am, but I'm also a friend of his, I hope.
Well, George, give the man your undivided attention. Assuming you can concentrate for that long, yes.
You read this while he's... George, I want you to place your heels together. And I want you to look at me. This is strictly power of suggestion, Groucho. This is not hypnotism now. I want you to keep your eyes on my left eye. Have no anxiety. When I ask you to close your eyes, I want you to close them, make your mind a complete blank. 1, 2, 3, close your eyes. I'm going to slowly count from 1 to 5. With each number I count, an irresistible force will pull you right straight back over your heels into my arms, and the moment you touch my arms, you'll become completely relaxed. Completely relaxed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I pull you hard and fast, right straight back, right straight back, right straight back. You fall. Relax completely. Relax completely, George. Relax completely. Relax completely.
George, you look real natural there. I only wish I'd had some lilies I could have put in your hand. Well, I'm sorry I was a flop as a subject for hypnosis, but you can't say I didn't try. I did sincerely. George, is that NBC page here tonight?
Mike Allen?
The fellow
Yes,
we
I'm
had
sure
on
he
the
is,
show last week. Would you have him come up here?
Mike?
Mike, you realize you were a sensation up here last week?
No, sir.
Did you know you were a fantastic dancer?
No, sir.
You don't know it.
People have told me that.
How did you feel after being hypnotized last week? Were you kind of groggy?
No, I felt very good, as a matter of fact.
You had no after effects of any kind?
No, I was able to concentrate better and still am doing my homework.
Thank you.
You said
Thank you.
Your homework. Oh, you said you go to college, huh?
Yes, sir. I'm a senior at UCLA in the
Oh.
speech department.
You couldn't hypnotize him and make a good football player out of him, could you? They could use one on that team. What are you planning on doing when you graduate, assuming you're awake by that time?
Well, there's sort of a dichotomy in my planning because I would like to go on and get a doctor's degree in speech.
Which doctor's degree do you want? Anyone in particular?
The doctorate in speech will do.
Oh, you could have my doctor's degree because he isn't using it.
Anyway, I'd like to get a doctorate in speech so I could...
I'm dying by degrees, but the doctor hasn't got it. Don't you want to stay with NBC and eventually become president?
Well, that's part of the dichotomy. I'd also like to do that.
You think you have any talent as an actor, Mike?
Well, probably no more than the average person.
Is that a personal remark at me? Have you ever done any acting?
High school play.
Mike, apparently you are a much better subject than I am. Would you like to try a few more experiments
Sure.
on the show tonight? You know, a lot of people missed you last week, and they're curious to see how this works. Traian, could you experiment again with Mike? Could you put him under that spell? Would you have to spend a half an hour with him?
No, I don't have to, I don't think I have to spend any time with him. I saw him for a couple of minutes just before I came on.
And you gave him the evil eye?
I sure did.
Do you realize that you're under his thumb already?
No, he's not under any
Before
thumb.
we go any further, this doesn't have any lasting effect on him, does it?
No, not
I
whatsoever.
wouldn't want to do anything that would ultimately affect him.
No, not at all. When he comes out of it, he'll be back to normal in every respect.
You wouldn't always have him in your power. I mean, he's not apt to become a trilby to your Svengali.
No, I possess no powers, Groucho's the power of his mind. The more powerful the mind, the better the subject. It's
He
not
has
my
no
power.
mind. He goes to...
It's a scientific fact.
Really?
Yes, sir.
The more powerful the mind, the more
The better the
susceptible they are to...
Yes, sir.
Are you perfectly willing to proceed with this, Mike?
Yes, sir.
You're on your own then, Traian. Do your stuff.
Really? Well, if you recall last week, I was talking to you, Groucho, and while I was talking to you, the young man suddenly went to sleep, as I am about to do now. Sleepy.
Is he asleep now?
He sure is. You will not fall. You will
How is
remain.
How is it you could do it so quickly?
Well, I left him with a suggestion that whenever I touch his shoulder, he would go to sleep.
You know, last week he discovered he has a lot of talent as a dancer. He didn't even know this until he was hypnotized. Now, for all we know, he may be another Rock Hudson or maybe Ava Gardner. Now, let's find out if he really has any dramatic talent, huh? Is there a girl out front who'd like to help us with this experiment? Any girl? Come on, there must be somebody out there.
I'm removing.
We're not going to put the girl asleep.
All inhibitions. Relax and remain asleep. You will not.
Well, that's a cute little dish.
You will not fall.
Could you give us your name? And we'll give it back to you later.
Glenda Stronack.
Glenda Stronack?
Yes.
Oh, that's a cute name. Have you ever seen Traian before?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever talked to me or Fenneman or anyone connected with our show?
No.
Now, I want you to play a scene opposite this great dramatic actor, Michael Allen. Traian, you'll have to be the director of this play. Let's see if we can win an Oscar for Mike. Give him his instructions. Outline the scene for him.
Mike, in just a few moments, I'm going to ask you to awaken. You will not be wide awake. You'll open your eyes, but you'll remain in a state of hypnosis with your eyes wide open. When I count 5, open your eyes, but remain in a state of hypnosis with your eyes wide open, and you will react to my suggestions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now open your eyes, stand up. I want you to know now that this young lady is your partner. I want you to sing Prisoner of Love. You are Perry Como. You are Perry Como, prisoner of love. Alone from night, tonight you'll find me.
Alone from night to night you'll find me.
No, just a moment.
Listen, Como's asleep like that all the time.
This young lady, now you want to marry this young lady, but she rejected you. And you're angry. And you're going to tell her off as Elvis Presley would, with you are nothing but a hound dog. You'll put all the gyrations, all the feelings, and all the motions to nothing but a hound dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, open your eyes. Hound dog, please.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Howling all the time, yeah. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Howling all the
Wait till Colonel Parker hears about this.
Very well. Now, when I count 5, once again, I want you to open your eyes. You're going to ask her father for her hand. But you're going to be Gary Cooper, a man of few words and strong deeds. When I count 5, open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would you ask her father for her hand?
I thought he was going to step on her. What you on, boy?
I'd like to marry her.
You would?
Yep.
You got any money?
Nope.
You got a job?
Yep.
What do you do?
Don't know.
Well, that's nice work if you can get it, huh?
Now, in just a few moments, I'm going to ask you to make passionate love to this young lady, Marlon Brando. Yes, you're going to tell her how much you love her. You're going to tell her how you feel, that life is empty and meaningless without her.
It's possible.
You want to kiss her passionately, but you are Marlon Brando. As you know, he sort of sniffles, mumbles his words, and every once in a while he gets an itch.
For her.
Every time you hear me mentioning your name while you're making love to this young lady, you will develop an itch and you will scratch. Every time. When I count 5, I want you to open your eyes, and you are Marlon Brando.
And start from scratch.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a rehearsal. Now open your eyes. And now, I want you to get ready. This is your partner.
I'm telling you something, babe. I'd like to marry her.
Be more convincing, Mike. Take her in your arms.
I love you,
I gotta have you, baby. It's you and me all the way, because life don't mean nothing without you. You understand?
Try and kiss her, Mike! Try it again now. Let's go.
You're wonderful. You mean everything to me, babe. Everything. Do you understand that?
Bend her over.
Our love is so great that we can live forever together.
That's it. Try to kiss her now. Mike, kiss her. Start over again now. Once again.
You know, he doesn't want to marry her for love. He just wants somebody to scratch him, that's all.
Please, way down. Relax and remain asleep.
Traian. I think she fell asleep, too. I think we better quit before Mike flies right up through the ceiling. Can you bring him out of it for good this time?
Yes, I'll bring him back to normal, Groucho.
Okay.
You, Sport,
Well, normal isn't enough.
When I complete the count of 5, I want you to awaken feeling fine, mentally and physically refreshed, back to normal in every respect. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next time we're Groucho, you two will wake up. 5, wake up, please. Wake up.
Well, how was it? Eh? Mike, you were wonderful. You're not only a great dancer, but you're a great singer and a magnificent actor. And there's a lover. How was he?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Did you know you were a great actor?
No, I don't think I have.
Have you ever sung in public before?
No, sir.
Well, Traian, I'm convinced you're every bit as good as you say you are. What are some of the clubs you play where I can catch your act? I didn't get a chance when you were here. Are you going east?
Yes, I play the Shapery in Chicago, the Dunes Hotel in Las Vegas, the Cloister on the Strip.
Well, you only appear at the Cloister when there's an hour in the month. Isn't that true? Thanks for coming back, Traian. Goodbye. I'll see you later. Shake hands. You better say goodbye to him, right? Mike, what do you think of your partner? Wait, you stay here. You stay here. Did you like her?
I think she's a nice girl.
Would you like to kiss her sometime?
Well, I'm married.
You say you're married?
I got 2 kids, too.
You have? You're married and have 2 children, huh? Well, when you get home tonight, my guess is your wife's going to put you to sleep again. Only this time, you go to sleep with a baseball bat on. Well, you've both been very cooperative in this scientific experiment we've conducted tonight, and I think you may as well go on and try to win some money. And since neither of you knew you were going to play the game, you haven't picked a category, have you?
No.
George, would you bring out the list of categories, and they can pick their own. George, Mr. Fenneman, come out. You know how to play the game?
Yeah.
Well, you know, these are easy and they get harder. Okay, you got to win $500 to get a chance at the big money. All right, start, and you can pick any kind you want.
What'd you pick?
Professions of famous people.
Oh, everything's all right then.
What does that mean?
Well, if we want to make sure that these are the questions that pertain to professions of famous people.
Oh.
It'd be pretty silly to have a spelling quiz in here, wouldn't it?
What was the profession of Charles P. Steinmetz?
Author?
You talk it over together?
Your partners, you know. Don't know? No. It's electrical engineer and inventor. Very famous. He was the head man at General Electric for many years.
3 more chances to make a total of 500, and
You
here's
think
another
we should have him
200.
hypnotized again? Maybe they do better. Huh? He almost fell asleep when I said hypnotize. For $200, what was the profession of George Louis Rickard? Tex Rickard is what he was known as. Tex Rickard.
Oil man?
No, he was a famous fight promoter. He operated Madison Square Garden, and he was anyway, the most famous fight promoter of all time.
Well, it's not all over. You know, you have 2 more chances to make $500.
Well, come on, I'll get one right here. Otherwise, you've been kissed for nothing. For $200, with what profession do you associate Paul Dudley White?
He's a physician.
Physician.
Physician, that's right, you medicine.
And you have $200. This is your last chance to make a total of 5.
You're going for broke, huh?
300.
Okay, what was the profession of Niccolo N-I-C-O-L-O, Paganini?
He was a musician.
Musician is right. So you've won $500.
Yeah. And you'll be back for a chance at $2,000, $5,000, or $10,000.
Okay, congratulations. We'll see you later.
The big question, Groucho. Mike Allen and Glenda Stronack won $500 in the quiz, so here they are to try for a chance at $2,000, $5,000, or $10,000. You come in, folks? Or Mike?
Well, Mike, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time, man. Okay, now, one of you pick a total number for a total of $10,000. We'll put it up here on the tote board.
8.
8. Put up an 8. And you, Mike?
6.
6, huh? 8 and 6. Now, if any other number but these comes up, this question is worth a total of $2,000. If these come up, you know what you can win here. Are you ready? One of you spin the wheel. Your numbers were 6 and 8, and it landed on 5, so here we go for a total of $2,000. Ready? One answer between. The first United States satellite to be used primarily as an experimental aid to intercontinental communications was put in orbit in August of 1960. For $2,000, what was this spectacular satellite called? And the music sits up. All right, what's the answer you two have decided upon?
Echo 1.
Echo 1 is right, so you win the number. Well, you had the right answer. Now, what are you going to do with your $1,000?
There's so many things I couldn't tell you on this show.
Well, send it to me, huh? And what are you going to do with yours, Mike?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is take my wife out to dinner.
Yeah.
The next thing I'm going to do is put the rest of it in the bank so I can get through school.
After she sees the show, you better give her the whole $1,000. Congratulations, and thanks for being with us.